2, 1. Welcome. Season 2 of Swinging Blindly. It is the 2022 season and our second full one doing the show. Blaise Bryant here in upstate New York, and down in Connecticut is the co-hostest with the mostest, my man, who roots for a team with the late legend named Stan. He usually leads off, but not today. That's me leading off. On deck and now stepping into the batter's box is PJ Geary. Bro, it is so good to be back doing the show with you as we're on a couple of different things here. We're on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Swinging Blindly podcast. We are also live on Colorcast, which is available as an Apple app only. And we're going to be on demand wherever you get your podcasts. So we'll get this one uploaded here later in the week. Bro, so good to have you back, and so good to be back with you.
Man, it is a breath of fresh air to talk some baseball with my guy here, and we're back on the Colorcast. I'm ready to roll. We got it on Facebook. We got it on we got you on, as you said, we got Twitters, we got the Facebooks, we're gonna have YouTubes and live on Colorcast, and we're ready for a big year. Ready for a big year. We want everybody to join us and go for the ride with us.
Absolutely. If you're listening on Colorcast, feel free to hit the heart button, or if you want to come on and talk baseball with us, PJ will cue that up for you. And we'll get you on. We want people to interact with us here as well as on Facebook Live. PJ will look at the comments and let us know what you have to say as well. I mean, you said a big year. The big year starts off with a really big question. When the hell is the season going to start because of the lockout?
Yeah, man, it's certainly getting to the point. This is a big week, as we know, as baseball fans. We know that this is a huge week when it comes to the lockout. Bleh. But I'm interested in your takes, Blaise. I'm interested in the people's takes on not what it would take, what it should take to get this to end. And we want baseball. We want it to start on time, and we want these negotiations to just be over with. And I think I can speak for you when I say that.
No doubt about it. And it's one of those things where, generally people look at this one of two ways, either on the side of the owners or on the side of the players. Neither one of them seem to be able to get along. And honestly, as we're still in a global pandemic, as these millionaires and billionaires are having a complaint fest about money, it's really hard for me to just take one side. I cannot help but be equally critical of both because, I mean, here all these things are being thrown around. And look, I'm all for the minor leaguers and the lower ranked players getting a higher wage. They deserve it. They have to go through a season of hell and deal with all sorts of stuff with travel and fields. Well, yeah, fields, because they're not as well manicured. And you've got food and all that stuff too. But these higher paying players, like, Max Scherzer, $40 million a year, Garrett Cole, $36 million a year, Giancarlo Stanton, I mean, the list goes on. Mike Trout, all these guys getting all this money, and yet the damn season can't start on time because they're getting a pathetic amount of money, and the owners are complaining about a revenue share? What in the hell has this world come to, PJ Geary?
My friend, it is rare where we are on so lockstep in our opinions here. But we are in this scenario. Look, it's like you said, billionaires versus millionaires. I understand it. I get it. I get the players wanting more. But to add on to what you said, it's also the veterans protecting the younger players that are maybe, before these 20, 21-year-old phenoms that are ready to play in the majors that get held back so that they can't make as much money as when they should. Like this, these are the issues being dealt with. And it's on both sides at this point, my friend. It's on both sides. I don't know where you stand on like the level of blame, but at this point it is on both sides in my eyes, and it needs to get solved. And I think both sides, and I'd like to hear your take on this, both sides look worse the longer this goes on.
No question about it. And I blame them both equally because it takes two to tango. There seems to be no give and no take. I mean, how in the hell do you have a 15-minute meeting a few days ago? A 15-minute meeting. I can tell you what got accomplished in those 15 minutes. 0. What can you accomplish in 15 minutes like that?
Absolutely. And again, as somebody who is very closely monitoring this, because at this point, myself and my lovely wife have tickets to see Cardinals opening day in St. Louis for April 7th. If the season gets pushed back at all, it is going to be a disaster for that. And that date is the 28th, my friend. And they've been meeting for longer times this week and every day, which is good, but it doesn't seem yet like that anything of substance has been figured out.
I wonder why some sort of a mediator hasn't been brought in. I think at this point, the commissioner should have a long time ago, Rob Manfred, who, in my opinion, has done nothing but inflame the situation. Let's be honest. Why didn't he bring a mediator in at this point to essentially say, all right, the two of you can't get along. We're going to get a neutral party in here to kind of facilitate the conversation and make things happen because our sport is falling precipitously through the ranks of favorability. 15 years ago, baseball was America's pastime. And as I've said before in last season, it's slowly but surely and steadily now becoming America's last time.
I love that line. And just to update you, Blaise, MLB had proposed a third-party negotiator to come in, and the players said they are ready to negotiate by themselves and rejected said arbitrator to come in. And now I believe,
but it was too late. It was too late. Sorry.
Yeah, and I believe that there is a third party with them now, but it's not at the same level. And as you said, it's too late at this point. This is something that needs to be hashed out between the two of them. And I mean, fingers crossed on my end, man. I mean, again, I have a little bit of skin in the game, but it's an underlying issue because this needs to get figured out for the long term. It cannot be for the short term. 95 is the last time we had a shortened season. So what? That's
94.
94
was
94 was like, yeah, 94 was in the middle of the season strike, but 95 was a shortened season game wise.
Right.
Which is the last time that happened. And I think everybody from the owners, players, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that everybody wants it to get done, but will it get done and will they make it get done? Who knows? I mean, I'm interested to hear what anybody else thinks. If you hop in, we can talk about it because I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer.
Yeah, and think about it. I think if there wasn't the strike in 94, and unless I'm proven otherwise, but just people that I have talked with who kind of followed the Expos. I mean, I know because I grew up 2 hours from the Canadian border, about 2.5 hours from Montreal. I mean, people used to make trips up to Montreal to see the Expos. And had the strike not happened in 94, because the Expos were a damn good team at that time. Had that strike not happened, we might still very well have baseball in Montreal because they may have won the World Series or at least come close or put themselves in a good position. The strike ruined that. And just the fan base couldn't recover and got so dejected. I mean, then again, look, baseball's never going to be the top sport in Canada. It's always going to be hockey, rightly so. That's where the genesis of the sport came from. With that being said, they lost a team because of the strike. And who's not to say that if this continues, other places like Tampa Bay or Toronto or places where they really struggle to get fans will not alienate the sport entirely.
We are in lockstep here, my friend. In breaking news just here, Jesse Rogers at Jesse Rogers ESPN on Twitter. Players leaving Roger Dean now after 5 hours inside. That was 5 minutes ago. So a 5-hour session. Not sure if how much of it was with each other and how much of it was spent talking amongst themselves. It's tough to grasp onto these things that are optimistic, but they have been meeting every day and they've been meeting every day for hours.
But we don't know what happened in that meeting.
Correct. And I stay,
according to Jesse Rogers,
I stay happy, or sorry, I stay very optimistic, but my hopes aren't high, if that makes sense.
And how could they be? I mean, spring training is going to be cut short, which I don't know about you. I love spring training. I geek out on spring training. The winters where we are here in the northeast part of the country have been brutal. This winter has been brutal. No exception for you in Connecticut. So I don't know about you. Spring training gives me a sense of warmth and that spring is somewhere on the horizon. And we get to see some of these players that we might not normally see who have some promise that a few years later we can say, oh yeah, I remember seeing them, play against Pittsburgh. And I remember that they really impressed me by, hitting a home run off of so-and-so, or I really liked the way that person played the field. I mean, for example, I've always been kind of high on Esteban Florial as a Yankees fan. I'm wearing a long sleeve Yankee shirt, which I hope I'm displaying loud and proud on camera. I've been high on him because I saw him in spring training, and I saw what he could bring to the table potentially in the major leagues. I'm still high on the guy. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of him in the major leagues because he hasn't really figured out how to hit yet, but the dude can do everything else.
Man, I echo the same thing. Some of my best memories is actually being it was at Roger Dean, and it was because the Cardinals and Dodgers share the same stadium. And as a younger kid down in Florida, and went to it was actually a Dodgers, and I remember seeing a young, oh man, I'm gonna mess up his name.
That's all right.
The journeyman pitcher. He came out
about how long ago?
Edwin Jackson.
Oh yeah, Edwin Jackson.
And he came out. He started with the Dodgers. He was like and
they drafted him, didn't they?
Yeah. Ended up playing with so many teams, and I just remember seeing him as a rookie. I'll never forget that. Got a Dodgers hat. Spring training is special, not only to baseball in general and for like diehards like us, but for those towns, it's huge. Like for revenue, these specific vacation places that have baseball only for 2 months of the year, and now with
6 weeks, really.
There, so listen, So if they can get this, and let's knock on wood here, they are gonna get this done by the 28th. We will then we will have 4 weeks of spring training, and or it'll probably end up being 2 weeks left of off season, and then 2 weeks of how would they even do it?
I don't know. I mean, Aaron Judge said on the R2C2, which is the Yankees podcast with Ryan Rucco and CC Sabathia, R2C2, that he's been, having to drive 20 minutes here, there, and everywhere just to do workouts and that sort of stuff, just to kind of stay in shape. And Aaron Judge, this kind of springboards me onto something here, which is, how's the lockout going to impact his future as a Yankee? Because he's to be extended, or he's going to be a free agent, I believe, at the end of this year. He's been the face of the franchise. Families bring their kids. He is a must-see player, and he's 30 years old. Injury concerns notwithstanding, he is unquestionably the face of the Yankees right now.
Unquestionably. So would you say that he's somebody they need to keep?
I think it's a gamble. I would not sign him to a lucrative deal because he is approaching 30. He's shown, and I mean, look, the guy can do everything well. He can hit, he can run, he can field, he can throw. I mean, he has all the intangibles, and he does them all really well, and he's proven it. The one sort of mystery question is, can he stay healthy throughout the duration of a season, which he, up until last year, yeah, that was a huge question, but he largely stayed healthy this past season. So we'll see what happens. And he's shown versatility. Not only can he play right field, he can also play a really damn good center field. And he's an athlete. I mean, I love Aaron Judge, and I would say, just because of his status as a Yankee right now, because he's the face of the franchise, and he puts butts in the seats, because he's a very likable, family-friendly guy, you gotta re-sign him to some sort of deal, or at least begin the negotiations out of the lockout, out of the chute there, so that he doesn't go to free agency. It'd be wise of the Yankees and his agent to do that, because I'm sorry, it would absolutely tear me to bits if he went to another team.
Tear you to bits.
Direct
quote.
It would tear me to bits, my guy.
And that's all good and well. And man, it just brings me back, because this is all stuff that we should be we should be talking about all of the moves that were made, because there's so many moves left to be made. There's so many free agents still, which hurts, which is why whenever the date is agreed upon, and let's hope it's soon, is so imperative, is because they need time to sign the rest of these free agents. They need time to play a little bit of spring training. And I mean, let's be real. These guys have been training and playing and doing their own stuff, but not being able to be with the teams, it's just, it continues to be a worse and worse look on both ends, please.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean to reiterate, and I don't mean to I don't mean to repeat myself, but what this lockout does, it's bad. It's just not good for baseball. And what's funny about that is, because if they end up getting it done this week, sports are rigged take here, what they're getting every baseball fan into these negotiations. So if they end up doing it at the last second, imagine the drama. You know what I'm saying? And I just couldn't. That's my hope. That's my hope, is it gets done now. But every day that passes, it's just not looking good. But it begs the question: what do they do? So let's just say they get it done the 28th, the
Yeah.
deadline set by the MLB.
Yeah.
What does the spring training, in your eyes, what does the spring training and free agency look like time wise?
Well, I know one thing. It's
With
going to be a
opening day
really,
scheduled for the 31st. Sorry.
yeah, well, it's going to be a really busy March. March is one of the busiest sports months of the year or sports months of the year, because of the NHL regular season winding down. You have the NCAA tournament, and you're going to see a free agent frenzy in baseball. And the people I feel the most sorry for are the free agent pitchers and catchers who have lost over a week already to build the chemistry. That's going to be a consolidated chemistry. I think what you're going to see is, well, I think you're going to see a couple of things. Number one, because of the shorter spring training, I think you're going to see more injuries. Number two, I think you're going to see a lot of bad baseball initially. And, especially with respect to new batteries with the pitcher and the catcher, because they're still going to be in that feeling each other out. The amount of time to do so simply is just not going to be as much. And it just, again, it's such a bad look. And I know you keep saying it, and it bears repeating, because we are in a global pandemic. We need things to distract us. And I'm sorry, we're not out of it. And anyone who thinks we are, think again, please. We need baseball to distract us from the world we are, dealing with. And not to mention, too, all this other stuff with Russia and Ukraine and the politics and the sanctions and the mess that is. One of the best distractors from the crappy reality that we deal with in the world sometimes is sports.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely,
we
need it.
Yeah. Now, let's get to some of the rules here, some of the things that have been agreed upon for better or worse. Let's start with one of the more controversial ones. The universal designated hitter in both leagues. You're a National League guy. What do you think?
Might be a hot take, my friend, but I'm ready for it. I've seen, last year in particular, 3 Cardinal pitchers get hurt, and for a long period of time, because of at-bats. I'm good. I'm done seeing my pitchers get hurt swinging the bat. Like, if I was 20 years older, I would probably be way more livid about this, but at this point, nah. And I've been on the other side. I have been for the most of my life. No, I love the pitcher hitting. I love the pitcher. Am I gonna miss seeing Adam Wainwright blast one? For sure, but I don't want to see them get hurt. There's no reason for them to get hurt. Let's just, in today's pitching, today's game, the pitchers weren't asked to hit as much as they were back in the day. It's an outdated rule that I'm okay with now being switched. Bring on the DH. Let's get Pujols to St. Louis. That's my take.
Bro, I completely disagree with you. And I'm 3 months older than you. And here's why I disagree. Look, one could say, as a Yankees fan, I should be for the designated hitter because of something that happened about 15 years ago, which was Chien-Ming Wang, who was pitching for the Yankees. They were in Houston back when the Astros were in the National League and didn't have a cheating scandal hanging over their heads. Chien-Ming Wang gets hurt running to first base, essentially ending his career. He came back, but was not nearly the same pitcher, and he was having a really good season at that point. I don't remember the stats exactly, but he was having a really good year nonetheless. I'm not for it, PJ, because I now see zero separation between the leagues. I loved I loved the divide between the American and National League, which you do not see in any other sport, because the pitcher hit, there was added strategy, all that stuff. There's no divide in any other sport.
No, and it's dumb that it is in baseball. It's dumb. I respect you saying that, but you're talking about something that happened years ago. Last year, Blaise, 3 Cardinals pitchers, including Jack Flaherty, got hurt hitting the baseball. There's no reason in today's sport why they should. I mean, why is there 2 different rules? Why is there 2 different rules? Who cares? Like, I just don't care anymore. Like, I just don't care anymore.
Here's my argument. Condition these guys better. These guys are...
Why?
Why? Because there's way too much emphasis in Major League Baseball about working out. And these guys are way too muscle-bound. That's why all these injuries are happening. That's why. And I feel bad that Jack Flaherty got hurt swinging the bat. Yeah, I feel bad that Chien-Ming Wang's Yankee career essentially came to an end. And really his career as a whole ended because he was swinging the bat. But you know what, though? That's part of playing the game. I'm sorry. I can't be there with you yet because I love the uniqueness of the uniformity that once divided baseball. You don't see that divided in football, basketball, and hockey.
You're speaking as a DH fan. You're speaking as a fan of a team who's had DH this whole time. I'm speaking as somebody who has seen it. You saw it that one time for that, like the 2 series back when Chien-Ming Wang played. Now with all of the interleague games, no, it's dumb. It is time. I was the biggest proponent of keeping it. I was the biggest proponent. Oh, let's just we have to keep that part of the game. It is so stupid in this time in 2022 that we have one league that has the DH and one league that doesn't, because that means that the teams that can't sign an Albert Pujols, can't sign these other guys and just even have them on their bench, because the NL has to focus on fielding because they have a pitcher hitting every inning. It's ridiculous.
See, to me, having the pitcher hit makes the game better. And if I had it my way, PJ, you'd go back to the early 70s when the pitcher hit in both leagues.
Well, none of us were alive then, and neither was our guest on the hot seat here, Mr. Brett Monroe.
My fellow Yankee Brett, how in the world have you been, my friend?
Hi, yes, my name's Brett Boy.
Hello.
Yeah, just calling because you guys sounded like you were struggling for content, so
oh man,
wanted to fill in some time.
All right, shut up with your fake act and get to the point.
This is not Bretty. This is imposter Bretty.
I don't. Just wanted to talk to you about the pitching and the hitting and that kind of nonsense you were talking about there, because there's too much money these guys invest in these pitchers to try and put them at the plate. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
It's a little ridiculous.
I get that. All well and fair. But everyone has a bunch of money invested in them. I can't stand the fact that we are now seeing designated hitters going into the Hall of Fame for swinging a bat. That kills me. That kills me.
Why?
Yeah, but okay, but why would that kill
Hitting
you?
a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Pitchers shouldn't get in for just throwing a ball.
No, that's entirely no. Stop that, because that makes no sense.
By your argument, if you're only doing one thing, then you shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame. So only position players should get in.
You're up 4 times
and hit the ball.
You're up 4, maybe 5 times a game. These guys are out there. I mean, if you're a starter throwing 100 pitches, if you're a reliever, you're out there throwing one, maybe 2 innings. I mean, the whole pitching lexicon needs to be redefined, in my opinion, because it just, guys, we need to go back to a time when these guys were not getting hurt to the degree that they are.
Okay, yeah, but that's just not going to happen.
But then you want to not only, okay, Blaise, I get it. You don't want them to get hurt, but not only do you not want them to get hurt, you want to reinstitute something back into the game in both leagues. In one case, keep it in the league, in which you open up more avenues for them to get hurt.
Then, I mean, what I'm
speaking out of both sides.
And you're just saying then get in better shape. Getting in better shape is what gets them hurt.
Pitchers hit is better for baseball. Offense is better for baseball. Home runs sell. Double switches don't sell tickets.
I get that.
Sell tickets. And pitchers rarely hit home runs. What do you get? A few a year, a couple pitchers that are good at it. DeGrom's pretty good, but most of them aren't DeGroms.
Brett, I get that. But here's the thing. We are seeing a diametric shift in the league where there are very little to no fundamentals. Fundamentals is what separates you from good teams and great teams. If the Yankees had some basics of fundamentality, Brett, do you not think that we may have either been in the World Series or at least won one since 2009?
Okay, I understand that argument, but the fundamental part of it, I disagree with. Should the pitcher fundamentally know how to field his position?
Yes!
Should the pitcher fundamentally know how to hit? No,
yes!
I disagree. The hitter fundamentally does not know how to hit.
I disagree.
He's not getting paid to hit. He's paid to pitch and field his position.
You are paid to be a baseball player, not do one or the other.
I disagree. That's like saying that the center fielder is getting paid to also play shortstop.
Score goals.
All right, well, I couldn't hear you, Brett. What?
So goalies should score goals in hockey and soccer, and the coaches should shoot 3-pointers in basketball.
No.
That's exactly what you're saying.
No, I'm not, because those sports are set up. No, those sports are set up completely different.
So is baseball. The center fielder can't play shortstop.
What?
The center fielder and shortstops can't just switch positions and be elite at either position.
I'm not
like
saying...
nobody else. That's what you're saying.
No.
That's what you're saying. Yes, it is. You're saying that pitchers should hit. That's not what they get paid to do. They were good at hitting in high school and little leagues in college. They were good players probably. But then they got the bag to pitch, not hit. So then they don't practice hitting. They don't get in the box and hit.
If you are, here's the point that I am making. If you wear a glove as to field your position, the expectation should also be that you contribute with the bat as well, even if you lay down a bunt.
I disagree. I just straight up disagree. I have loved watching Adam Wainwright rake as a hitter. I have loved watching the suicide squeezes. Don't get me wrong. I love that part of the game. But it is not good baseball because the other freaking league that plays 82 games or whatever it is with those rules just has another hitter. Like it's just not. It's the time. It's just time.
Okay. Let's see if the three of us can agree on this question.
Okay.
Would you agree that there's way too much interleague?
No, I love interleague play. I mean, personally, I think the balance of the schedule is pretty good in baseball, actually. With mostly you play in your division, and then outside of that, you mostly play in your league, and then you fill in the remaining with interleague. I think it's a pretty good balance, and if I'm not mistaken, aren't the leagues odd numbered? Which is the thing. Yeah, that which kills me. That's what you call odd. It's called odd symmetry, and it makes no sense. I can't stand it. No, there needs to be 32 teams.
There needs to be 32 teams in this sport. I think all three of us can agree on that. And
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
see.
I'd
I
be
don't.
okay if there was 34 teams. I don't that that doesn't bother me.
See,
but
I
what
need
does bother
symmetry.
me is that you're I don't want to backtrack too far because we switched topics. But a DH can also lay down a bunt the same way a pitcher could. But the DH could also hit a home run, and
a
it's more likely to hit a home run.
Okay, so we're gonna say a DH can lay down a bunt.
Yeah,
Their job is to hit.
No, you're asking a pitcher to just bunt.
Better at it than a pitcher.
How do you?
I love it. I love
do you
suicide
mean?
squeezes. It's an out.
Yes.
You're giving away an out.
I'm saying theoretically a DH should be better at it.
Well,
than a
in
pitcher.
theory,
Bunting.
yes. But are they expected to practice that? No, because they're paid to do one thing: hit the ball over the fence. Hence, why
Pitchers are
they're
paid to do one
designated
thing,
hitter.
Blaise. They're
Also,
signed up as
bunting
pitchers.
doesn't sell tickets.
What, Brett?
What you just said just proved
Bunting.
everything that Brett just said.
Bunting doesn't sell tickets.
What do you mean?
It's still the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
You're more likely.
That doesn't make it right.
Most
DHs are paid to hit. Pitchers are paid to pitch. Period.
Yeah, but
That's what you just said. That's literally what you just said.
No, it is entirely different because a DH is up a DH is up maybe 4 or 5 times.
Pitchers are up maybe 4, 5, 6 innings. What's the difference?
Because they have to face the same guy multiple times. There is a difference.
No, there is no difference.
Yes, there is.
There's zero difference. Brett,
generally speaking, now you
if
used
you would
to
like
pitch.
more time, let us know.
Hang on. Did Brett have to drop off?
Yeah, hot seat ended.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Swinging Blindly with PJ, Geary, I'm Blaise, Bryant, Brett Monroe was just with us. On Colorcast, we're also on Facebook Live. I could only imagine what my faces looked like as I've been screaming at you guys. And when Brett comes back, let me know and I'll pot the board or pot the fader back up here inside Radio Talk. But I mean, bro, you were a pitcher at one point, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so but you were never a starter per se.
I did both.
Okay, so when you were a starting pitcher and you faced the same guy in the same game multiple times, did you or did you not pitch him differently?
Me personally, I'm probably not the greatest guy to ask because I would normally get rocked after my first time through. But I mean, no, again, and we're talking. I never got to the level where you really game plan like that. I just pitched the same. I did whatever I did best, and just hoped that it worked. So I'm not the right person to ask. I just and I'm glad that we are on such opposites here because it just, especially being fans of the opposite leagues of teams in the opposite leagues is. I was such a big proponent of keep the no DH.
Yeah,
only recently
I remember that.
Only recently have I come and it has to do with the injuries, and it has to do with it is not exciting baseball anymore. It's just not the way the game is played anymore, and like stolen bases, we don't see it anymore. Does that stink? Sure, that's just not the game that we see. Yeah. You can hate it, but it's just the way it is. Like, there's no why dwell on it when it's just not. It's out of your control. And then the suicide squeezes have been out of it, and honestly, it makes it more electric when you see them. But
I agree.
But that doesn't mean, and you said it yourself. DHs are paid to hit. Pitchers are paid to pitch, man. There's nowhere in a pitcher's job description that says you should be able to hit or drop a bunt down. And I say that because literally half of the league The AL doesn't have to do that. They don't have to worry about that. They just go up to bat and just look at it. That's when they're in NL Parks. That's the way it is. Like that's just the way it's been, and I don't see why there's so you're asking one half of the league to continue to have to do that when the other half just doesn't. That's just a difference in playing field. That's literally a difference in playing field because then these NL pitchers have to do more to be ready than the AL. That's just a fact.
All well and fair, and you're right on that. The thing that I liked about it the most, and I've said it before, is that there is a clear delineation between the American and National League that is now disintegrated. I wish there was more of a divide in football, basketball, and hockey. There's not. I love that uniqueness.
What would be the divide, though? Like literally, what? Give me an example of what you could possibly divide in the other sports. There's nothing.
It's because it's just the way the structure is.
There's literally nothing you can add to either sport, man.
I know
there isn't.
I know.
Like, so and you wish, but there's no way for it to happen.
I know. Trust me, I know. I get it. I just wish that there was still a divide because I loved that. I loved watching interleague games in National League parks to see the strategy. Because now there's just not the chess game, and I know I'm in the minority, and my mind's not going to change on it. Your mind's not going to change on it. Brett's mind isn't going to change on it. So So let's move on to something else. Wasn't there something about the overshift and stuff to do with shifts?
I'm not sure.
I heard something about that.
I don't know if anything has been, but welcome back, Brett.
All right, Brett is back with us.
Did you want to add anything before we move on?
I know it got a little heated the first time on the hot seat, which is good. But nothing but love for both of you. I have thoughts on shifts too, so we don't have to keep talking about DH.
I think we've
exhausted that.
Beaten that to the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, I with the shifts, if I don't like the idea of like outlawing shifting altogether, but I do think that like the shortstop and third baseman or whoever, two people should always be required to be on the same side of the same side of the field.
Yes.
Where they move after the pitch is thrown, like in Little League, then whatever. But you need to be aligned in a certain spot before the pitch is thrown, and then after that's your business.
Mm-hmm. Right there with you.
And some of the balls and some of the scorchers that get stuck in the gaps because they're allowed to align before the pitch would probably still get through. So maybe Mark Teixeira would have a better career batting average.
Yeah, but I mean, Mark Teixeira had a hell of a career. Batting average. Notwithstanding.
I'm a huge Teixeira guy. So
Me too.
I was just trying to get him a couple points there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, man. Absolutely.
But, yeah, because I mean, in Little League, you're not allowed to steal a base before the pitch is thrown. Pitch has to be thrown. So I mean, it might just open up the field a little bit more, and it would probably maybe appease both sides, maybe not. There's probably people firmly entrenched that shifting before the pitch is a good thing, and I don't know. I think offense is good for baseball. You know, preventing runs is great for winning, which is what these teams want. But I think sometimes what a team wants is not always what's best for the game itself. So there needs to be a healthy medium, and I hope that's what they're talking about at these meetings. Or they're probably just talking about money.
Of course they are, because that's all they care about.
Yeah, yeah, right. They're probably just talking about money.
That's exactly what's going on. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I when it comes to it, what I will say is that the people that think the shift has killed baseball that's just a little egregious. But do I think that, speaking of growing up playing baseball, nothing. I mean, the only shift we had was either corners, so the first and third base, hug the corners a little bit more, and double play where the mid infield would shade a little bit towards the second base, and then the only other one really that I ever played with was like when there was a guy on second or first or whatever. When you're holding them on, you kind of play a little differently. But other than that, I would never ever played a shift where I played a lot of middle infield and was never. The only reason why I would ever be on the grass, outfield grass, is because we're playing back for a good hitter, So I understand why they do it, but I think it would be a more exciting baseball if it was like maybe curtailed a little bit. I don't know what that looks like, but that's something I could get behind as well.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I just there are aspects of the game that I really miss, such as this clip here of Ricky Henderson breaking the stolen base record.
The A's having come from behind a 1-0 deficit. Ricky goes, a pitch taken, he's going to have it. He does. Ricky Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft, representing number 939.
I mean, that to me is what baseball is all about. Those exhilarating plays like that we just don't see anymore.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Yanni throwing people out, but yeah, still, the thing about it is, and it's right or wrong, stolen bases are looked at as giving away an out potentially, and that's just not, as Brett has said. I mean, pretty much every sport across the board, offense is up. Offense is what sells tickets. Offense is what puts asses in the seats, as they say, and that's just the way that it goes.
Yeah.
There was a whole hula, whatever about
Hullabaloo.
Thank you. Hula is what I was going to
say. That's the Hawaiian version in the skirts.
Yeah. About the dead balls, and then clearly they lifted the dead ball, and everything was lifted out of the parks, as they say. But I don't know. I mean, it's just the way that these industries go, and what makes money, what sells advertisements.
Yeah, but I get it, bro. I do.
Brett, we didn't really get to get your take on. Well, first of all, if you want to respond to the stolen base and your thoughts on that, but then also a couple of thoughts on the lockout.
Well, Ricky Henderson's great. There was a ESPN audio 30 for 30 on Ricky Henderson and that whole story and his whole story, and he's a very interesting figure in baseball history. And it is a shame that stolen bases aren't a part of the game more. I wish they weren't seen as giving away an out.
Yeah.
But I don't really know how to do anything about that, because I mean that it just is chancing that you are giving away an out. But
it all goes back to fundamentals, Brett, doesn't it?
With the lockout, there's things that, the pace of play has been such a big topic around baseball for years now, it feels like. And, they're talking about pitch clocks and adding all sorts of other clocks or other things to the game. And I'm like, there's just, I think, probably ways to speed up the game without adding a bunch of gimmicks, because even if it does sell money, like I'm not all about the money too. Like there's still a purist there too. So I don't want to strip the game of everything, but with this lockout, you just hope that the game comes back at all, really.
Yeah. It just, and that's just it, man. You hit the nail right on the head. I mean, I don't know if you heard us talking about Aaron Judge earlier. As another fellow Yankee fan, what do you think about that?
I missed that. earlier.
Okay.
So you would have to pose the question.
Essentially, the question I'll tee it up for you again is, would you re-sign Aaron Judge, and what's that going to look like as this lockout progresses? I mean, I would think you'd have to.
I would have to look up. I would have to look up at all the upcoming free agents, but I would think that you have to.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better option out there that helps you towards winning at this moment. I mean, you should have your pitcher in Garrett Cole, so you're going to need your stud hitter, which should be Aaron Judge. And yeah, I would re-sign him because there's no clearer avenue to winning in the present than re-signing him. As to what that contract looked like, I mean, they're probably not going to want to do more than 6 years.
I wouldn't. Would you?
Yeah. No, I probably wouldn't want to do more than 5. I'd probably want to pay him a lot for 5 years. That would, instead of signing a 10-year contract.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. It's just,
yeah.
And the other thing I was saying to PJ too is he is the face of the franchise. Okay, Brett, make a quick final point, and then we gotta let you go.
He is the face of the franchise. He is 30 years old, as I'm about to be. My birthday is tomorrow. Today is my last day in my 20s, and I spend it here with you on the hot seat, swinging blindly. Love you guys. Thank you for having me.
Love you too. Enjoy the aches and pains. Happy 30.
Thank you.
They've already started for me. Yeah, all the love to the great Brett Monroe. I mean, and you just turned 30 pretty recently too, didn't you?
Correct. Last month tomorrow.
Wow.
And yeah, it's certainly Blaise. What you can expect from this is the unexpected, because I think that the conversation needs to keep going, and that's really what happens, what should and needs to happen with baseball, not only with the MLB and MLBPA, with fans alike. The conversation continues, and it's a great community to be involved with, and I want to take swinging blindly to wherever we can get it, man. I mean,
absolutely.
We are a unique couple of dudes, and we can talk about any kind of baseball acumen that you would like to get in with, and that's really what we're bringing. And let's just fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed that they get it done.
Yes, fingers crossed, indeed. I mean, as the deadline is, just a few days away from getting something done. Hey, did you see? And I love Juan Soto as a player. He did an absolutely foolish thing, in my opinion, declining a 13-year contract from the Nationals.
Incredible.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, and the growing feeling is that he can get $500 million. Incredible. The type of money being thrown around.
Yeah.
Blaise, I mean, just we can agree on this. You get offered something like that, you take it.
Yeah, especially knowing that because of the lockout, truly nothing is guaranteed.
No. Well, and we won't know until anything is set in stone. And then, I mean, I think if this gets done this week, we will have a hell of a show next week, because I think the floodgates would open. But yeah, I did see that, and it seems like somebody's going to get more. Whether I know Acuna signed for a relatively cheap deal, and then Soto being the now, I mean, who else is like a Soto? Is there any other player like a Soto?
No. And I mean, the thing with Acuna, bro, is he's coming off of that injury
Yeah, you
and
certainly did.
a significant one as an outfielder, I might add. So it's I hate to say it, but he was not exactly negotiating from a position of strength.
Yeah, I believe here. Let me stats guys it real quick.
Sure thing.
He already had signed the. Had he already signed it? Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to be on every
2019, 8-year, $100 million, which in 2019.
and good on the
Full-
Braves. Yeah, good on the Braves
that.
for striking that deal while the window of opportunity was there. And speaking of the Braves, it looks like Freddie Freeman might be going elsewhere.
Yeah, I know you're probably looking forward to potential Yankee. Freddie Freeman as a Yankee. Is that something you would like?
I certainly would not say no to that. That's for sure. Because I'm drawing a blank here. Did Anthony Rizzo sign with anyone, or is he still out there?
No, he's still on nothing set there.
I mean, either one of those guys, because I like both equally. I mean, Freeman is probably the slightly better player. It's close. To me, it's close. Slight edge to Freeman. I also think he's a little bit older than Rizzo. And really, bro, I was pretty damn impressed in Rizzo with what I saw in the 2 months after the trade deadline.
Oh yeah, I mean Rizzo's a perfect Yankee, but I also think Freddie Freeman's kind of also a perfect Yankee. So we'll see what happens there. It would be talk about weird seeing a guy in different jerseys. Freddie Freeman's up there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a couple obvious ones, but Freddie Freeman not in a Braves jersey, that's just like jarring almost.
yeah. In a way, kind of like Robinson Cano being in Seattle.
That's another one. I agree. Even as a Met, yeah, that's another good one. There's the guys that you would never like Ichiro being a Yankee instead of a Mariner.
Oh yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, and Ichiro is one of my all-time favorite players. When I heard that we got Ichiro, I would, even at that point in his career, I was ecstatic because it was freaking Ichiro. Yeah, because
all
it was
you have to say.
Ichiro. Yeah.
What about Randy Johnson? What was your reaction when the Yankees got Randy Johnson?
Well,
he was okay for them, right?
He all right. He was all right. I mean, also too, it was not a great point in his career either. So it was one of those, deals there. But what can you do?
Let me ask you about a couple more Yankees, random Yankees. Raul Mondesi.
What about him?
Just your thoughts on him as a Yankee. Good Yankee, bad Yankee, nothing.
Mondesi.
Awesome Blue Jay.
Awesome Blue Jay. He's an all right Yankee. Great arm. Great arm.
Ruben Sierra.
Ruben Sierra helped the Yankees win a championship. Yeah, I loved Ruben Sierra. Loved him.
How about Nick Johnson?
I really felt for the guy when he broke his leg. I don't immediately think of him as a Yankee in terms of career overall, because he was, if I'm remembering correctly, he was an Expo prior to becoming a Yankee.
What about Kevin Brown?
Oh, F Kevin Brown. Oh, God. Bro, you opened up a gaping wound. I've crushed. Oh.
Kevin Brown, I'm sorry.
Kevin
Sheffield.
freaking Brown. Okay, Sheffield. I liked him. And that was another weird one for me, because he was a Brave, and then we ended up getting him. Yeah.
There you go. I cleansed you there.
Well, I don't know about that. The Kevin Brown. I mean, that was. I mean, how Brian Cashman still has his job after freaking Kevin Brown is beyond me. But I mean, because that was fire. I mean, that was a fireable move. That was a fireable move with Kevin Brown. Oh man.
Excuse me.
Swinging blindly, PJ. Well, I turned down the wrong fader. You good now, bro? As PJ is dealing with a little bit of a coughing thing, so he now has unmuted and is back with us. I think what happened is he got some of the sawdust I kicked up from when he mentioned Kevin Brown. Yeah. So that was karma kind of working its vengeance.
Shout out Kevin Brown. Yeah.
Oh, shut up. Kevin Brown. Oh. I mean.
Brett said, sign me the FU's star up for Freeman.
Yeah, can't argue with Brett. Cannot argue with him. And the other. Yeah.
Milk for joining us just now.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that are indisputable, Ro, we are flat out of time.
Flat out of time.
Yeah, we are flat out of time. Hey, we did it. We did our first Facebook Live and Colorcast. I mean, not our first time on Colorcast, but our first time, with the multi-technical setup, and that went smoothly, I think.
I think so too. And we had a little bit of what you want in a podcast, what you want in a show. We butted heads, but at the end of the day, we love each other.
Yeah, for sure. Great show, bro. Couldn't have done it without you. Thanks to Brett Monroe for hopping on. We'll be doing this every week live here on Facebook at facebook.com/Swinging Blindly Podcast. You made the page. Am I correct? I'm right on the name, aren't I?
Yep, that's for Facebook. It's Swinging Blindly Podcast. Twitter, it's at Swinging Blindly. I've been pretty active on Twitter recently, so go and interact with me on there.
We'll get this up.
And then, and then obviously we're Colorcast. So
Colorcast. Thanks.
As you said.
Thanks to the crew at Colorcast for providing us the platform that we get to use for free. We don't have to pay for it. Great on Colorcast for providing such an awesome platform for free. And again, that's an Apple app only, but we are gonna post
hot takes.
Yeah, Blazing Takes. Blaisin Takes is the Colorcast handle, and this is also going to be available wherever you get your podcasts. So a lot of good stuff.
Always.
So for PJ Geary, I'm Blaise Bryant, and bro, we'll sign off like we do every other time. Do we care if we swing and miss?
Not at freaking all.
Because that's what Swinging Blindly is all about. And we're done there. And I'm just going to end here on Colorcast. I just have to find the little thingy here. And cast. Yes.